And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's another edition of the Inside the Bubble program. I'm Pete Wagner. We're going to bring in our guests, our co-hosts, Matt Harrington and Brandon Spratt. Matt, a wild week of hockey, I'm sure. How much did you enjoy this past week?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, Pete. And there was a lot of games this week that I think all of us covered and broadcasted. So that always adds to the excitement that we get as part of this. But yeah, great week for sure.
And Brandon, how about you?
Yeah, it was a busy 5-game week for myself, so definitely covered some ground, and yeah, excited to dig into the highlights from a busy week.
We've got highlights. We have Coach Charlie Cloud from Northfield, Coach's Corner, much more. We're going to get into the highlight packages. We had a hard time drilling down on which ones we wanted to use this week because there were so many high-end games. But what we're going to do is we're going to give you the 5 best that we have from our MN Hockey TV network. We're going to open up with this dandy right here. Teddy Bear Toss time at the Stillwater St. Croix Valley Rec Center. And the kids will not have to wait long. Look at this, 4 minutes in. Boom! Let's go! Toss them! It's 1-0. A big goal scored, Matthew Volkman. The Ponies will go up 2-0 in this big boy hockey game. Oh, a shelf goal there scored by Luca Jarvis. That would be his first of 2 on the game. And then here's a look for the third goal of the game. And they go on to win by a score of 3-0. They're 4-0, first time since 2019. Eden Prairie, though, very solid game.
Centennial visiting Wayzata. The scoring gets started early in this one. Nice face-off win for the Trojans. They played out front, and Tommy Colmanero was able to pot it for a Trojans 1-0 lead. Then George Erickson, the senior blue liner. Look at this shelf job there from Finn D. St. Hubert, who had a big impact on this game as always. It's 2-0 Trojans. In the second period on the power play, Max Ludke tips home George Erickson's shot for a 3-0 lead. However, Centennial did not go quietly in this one as they come back quickly. Ryan Pellinger wanders just a bit out of his net, and the Cougars are able to take advantage. Joey Perzacilli with the goal. However, Wayzata gets a jailbreak 2-0 that Ludke finishes for his second of the game to make it 4-1. However, Centennial continues to fight. Cooper Daikawa going to the front of the net. He cleans up the loose change and makes it 4-2. Late second period. Watch the hands here, though, of Colin Bierman as he dangles around a defender for the snipe. Trojans go up 5-2. They would add 2 more late goals to win this one 7-2. 62 shots on net for Wayzata.
How about a rematch of last year's 2AA title game between Minnetonka and Chanhassen? Skippers battling here. Puck is loose. They think they score. No, it's wiped off by the official, and this game will remain scoreless. That was just, by the way, a minute in to the second period. We still continue in the second period, and the redirect in front here by Blake Kennedy, a big goal for Chanhassen to go up 1-0. But the Skippers would fight back in this one. Here's a shot on goal from Winston Wheaton. How about that for a name? He gets the goal for the Skippers. And Minnetonka will add another one here, as you'll see from a tough angle, as the Skippers go up 2-1 in this game late. That's with 4:11 to go. They would add an empty netter. They outshot the Storm in this one, 48-16, en route to the 3-1 win.
Good battle in the 2-1-8 between Roseau and Grand Rapids. We'll pick this one up third period, still scoreless. Roseau wins a faceoff, and Jude Whitrock to the net, deflecting home. Beck hammers shot for a 1-0 lead. We're to the final 3 minutes now of this one. This is going to look similar as Rapids wins a faceoff, and Luka Roloff throws it to the net. It'll find the back of the net to tie it up 1-1. We head to overtime at Yanmar Arena. Watch number 6, Joe Carpenter. A one-time blast from the point. Big win for the Thunderhawks on home ice on Friday night. They defeat Roseau 2-1.
Big win there for the Thunderhawks, Brandon. We're going to go to a sectional matchup out of 2AA again. Shakopee number 7 visiting Holy Family. Boy, buckle your seatbelts, folks. This was a wild hockey game. Holy Family gets the first goal here. It's Bryce Watala. That's just a minute 41 into the opening period. Fire on top 1-0. Looking for more here. This is a tough angle shot from Ryder Sorensen. And all of a sudden, about halfway through this first, it's 2-0. Shakopee, though, not going away. Oh, nifty play here as Cooper Seegert gets the goal. The full ice celly to help as well. Holy Family, though, would go up 3-1 on this tally right here. Again, from Ryder Sorensen. That was his second goal of the game. Shakopee, though, with nice tic-tac-toe passing into the zone. Tristan Wasengesso makes it a 3-2 game midway through the second period. Holy Family wanted more. Well, they're going to get it. Top shelf water bottle popper there for the Fire. That made it 4-2 on the Sawyer Graubens goal. And another one's going to sneak through here. This is a 5-2 lead, folks, for a team that hasn't won a game yet this season in the Holy Family Fire. The Sabres, though, would fight back. Desperation time for them. Great patience here on the power play. That would be the first of a couple power play goals in this period for the Shakopee Sabres. Oh, no. Tough bounce here, and the carom goes right into the hands of Ben Box. That makes it a 5-4 game. And then final seconds of the period. Shakopee thinks they've scored. No, it's waved off. The net was off, says that official. A tough break. Holy Family adds an empty netter. They win a wild one, the first new win for the head coach, Zach Friedel. Pete Wagner, other scores.
Matt, thanks for buckling the seatbelts here. St. Cloud Cathedral 1-1-2 at their 7-6 win over Gentry Academy. A couple players had 5 points in that game. War Road had a 2-pack with Grand Rapids and Rockridge this weekend. They've been playing great hockey. Grand Rapids beats War Road on the back end of that 6-1. Moorhead over Minnetonka in a close one. Moorhead a very good team this year, 3-2. Edina Benilde St. Margaret's. It was wild. It was packed. It was impressive. 4-2 win for Edina on the road.
All right, South Suburban girls action here. Rosemount and Apple Valley rematch of the section final of a year ago that the Irish won. And a little bit of luck of the Irish here as that shot deflected off a defender's stick for 1-0 lead. Here's their senior captain leader, Sophie Stramel, buries it for a 2-0 lead 5 minutes in for Rosemount, and they would keep it going. Watch Aubrey Hansen wide open on the right circle, one-time blast, 3-0 Rosemount, 9.5 minutes in. Apple Valley would chip away, though, as their stud and Mankato commit, Michaela Moran, to the net, cuts the deficit to 2 as we head to the second period. Watch this goal here. Moran, quick hands in a tight space. She steals it. She finishes it. What a goal, Michaela Moran. Makes it 3-2. And then Moran, straight out of the box, making more magic happen. Tries the wraparound. Fantastic save, Gianna Marchesi, but Layla Korkowski follows in for the rebound. This one tied. We're heading to overtime. And Aubrey Bull, boom! One-time overtime winner from Talia Vesio. Big overtime win for the Irish by a score of 4-3.
Big win indeed. That's now 6 in a row for Rosemount, might I add. Edina and Minnetonka, always fun when these two rivals meet here. Minnetonka getting the opening goal to start. This is Senya Leaper with a power play tally. It's 1-0. Look at this save from Layla Hemp. Ultimately, it wouldn't matter. Edina gets the goal anyway. A spectacular effort there, but the Hornets tie the game at 1. Power play time again for the Skippers. This was a theme for them in this one. They had several power play goals. They make it 2-1 on the goal there from Bella Finnegan. And it's going to be Finnegan again on the power play as they make it a 3-1 game. Edina, though, not going away, as you're going to see Whitney Horton. That's where you need to be, right place, right time for Whitney Horton. She makes it 3-2. But then the Skippers add the empty netter. That is Ellie Zakrajcek. A big 4-2 win for Minnetonka over the rival Edina. Those two teams are going to meet again in Edina on January 10th.
The surging Holy Family Catholic Fire 6-1 against the 6-1 Hill Murray Pioneers. Pick it up here in the first period. Gwen Skoogman on the power play. JC Chantlin and Emily Poland on the assist. And it's 1-0 in favor of the Pioneers. Look out, Ellen Onweiler comes back. Later on in the period, midway through, it's now 1. Addie Cowan and Casey Cronin on the assist. Now Hill Murray will go up 2-1. Emily Pohl, short side shelf, juggles a water bottle. It's now 2-1 Hill Murray. They will pick up an empty net goal here. This is 1 of 2 for them. Emily Pohl again. She will seal the deal for her team as they come up with a big road win, improve to 7-1. And in that one, you'll see the 5-game winning streak snapped for the Holy Family Catholic Fire.
Our number 1 squad, Centennial, with a big road test at the Andover Huskies. First period, we pick it up, and the visiting Cougars score. They clean up the loose change with Alexis Larson making it 1-0. Andover then on the power play here. Later first period, Mackenzie Jones, best shot in the state. She shows why there. What a quick release on the snapshot. Ties this up at 1. However, the Cougars would bounce back. Good board battle one here. Mia Such gets lost in coverage, snaps it glove side on Claire Hills for a 2-1 lead for the Cougars. And then into the second period now, Centennial Grace Lager, persistence rewarded. Number 15 gets the final touch. She had a couple whacks, puts her team up 3-1 middle of the second period. That would be it for the goal scoring in this game. Cougars are 8-0 as they defeat Andover on the road. And Andover, interesting note, this is the first game they've been involved in all season where both teams scored. Crazy note.
Crazy stuff indeed, Brandon. Top 2 teams in Class A here in Casson, Minnesota, Dodge County, and Mound Westonka. The Wildcats out shooting the Whitehawks 4-2 early. They get the first goal of the hockey game. That is Daisy Herons. And then in the second period, it is Hannah Peterson with the even strength tally. Look at this right off the faceoff. Mound Westonka gets one back from Ellie Lundquist and makes it 2-1. But that would be all for the scoring in this game, as the final score reads Dodge County 2 and Mound Westonka 1. Second straight loss for the Whitehawks after their winning streak. Pete, other notable
scintillating action all week. Woodbury looks good. 5-1 winners over Stillwater. Academy of Holy Angels ties Power. Those are a couple of Powers. Orono 2-all. Proctor Hermantown continues their winning ways with a 6-1 win over Grand Rapids Greenway. Moorhead ties up with Maple Grove. Interesting score there. White Bear Lake, a great one yesterday in overtime. 3-2 winners. And then Stillwater bounces back after that loss to Woodbury with a 4-1 win over the Forest Lake Rangers. Wow, what an incredible week we've had there with that stuff, guys. And we have more scores we could have put up there. But the bottom line is we will see more. It was impressive, Brandon, to see that Centennial Spring Lake Park maintained their grip on that first spot, I'm sure.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, an impressive performance. Last year, they went to Andover and got a tie. This year, they do one better. I mean, this Centennial team under Coach Sean Moline is looking outstanding. They're about a third of the way through their regular season. If you remember, they only lost one all regular season last year, too.
And we welcome you to the Coach's Corner. Charlie Cloud from Northfield High School joins us. Charlie's an assistant coach. We're going to take a look at a couple of big plays in their wild 8-7 opening season win over Rochester Century John Marshall. Charlie, thanks for joining the show today and looking forward to seeing what you've carved up for us here on the video.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Pete, and willing to talk about Northfield. Appreciate it.
Let's talk a little bit about that. You work with Mike Leckcraft, who's the head coach, and can you tell us what got you into Northfield and coaching?
This is my 8th year as an assistant for Lucky. I graduated from Northfield 2011, and timing worked out pretty well for me when I was moved back to Minnesota. They needed a younger assistant coach. And so I hopped on the staff and have learned from him and his staff the last 8 years, and it's been a blast to work with them and kind of work with the summer youth program as well.
So we now have this new tool we're using with Spidio with our live coaching and in-game and post-game and data. And, I think our whole mission has always been that, yes, we want to stream games and make it available for the many fans. And how rabid it is in Minnesota, having played it and coached it. Now we've got some tools that guys like you are working really well. And I'd like us to take a look at a couple of things. In this game, this was wild. You had to tie the game late in the third period and then won in overtime. But then you also had a key power play goal in the second period. And you're going to take us through a couple of key things in that and show us what broke down and what broke your way in those two moments. So have at it.
Yeah. They came out and jumped all over us, and we were down 3-1 going into the second. And the guys on the power play with Benny Geiger kind of quarterbacking that thing, they've been humming early, and they've talked about whether it's power play or ozone to kind of get the puck across the middle of the ice or the Royal Road. So whether it's skating it or moving the puck, you can see Michael Stewart ends up scoring this goal. He's kind of highlighted down in front of the net there. Just kind of a lot of puck movement, not getting stagnant. And those guys are so elusive with that, getting the puck across the middle multiple times. And, going high to low, and Benny makes a great pass to Stewie backdoor there that ends with a snipe and kind of flipped the momentum. One of the many momentum swings, I should say, in that game, but was kind of able to start that comeback for us, which was huge.
Wild was what we would call that game. Then you scored the game winner off of faceoff in the neutral zone, and it was quite intriguing what you drew up there. Why don't we share that one and take a peek at that one as well?
Yeah, so there was about a minute and a half left, I think. There just been a timeout called, I think, both to calm both sides down, maybe get a breather, and they've got a really good forward on their team that they lined up as a defenseman off the face-off there. You can kind of see him on the far right of the screen, and great recognition by our center, Will Cashin, just kind of as they drop the puck there, he just kind of chips it forward to kind of catch that forward coming up ice and just chip it over to Griffin Kennelly for the game winner and the celebration over in front of the student section. So it was a pretty exciting way for us to start the season and battle a lot of adversity early, just coming back 3-4 times in that game, end in dramatic fashion, which was felt like a playoff game, which you don't necessarily want the first game of the season, kind of ease your way in, but it was a blast.
Well, we got off to a great start, 8-7. Obviously, you were in the state tournament last year, and I'm sure you'll want to be back there again this year. So far, as we wrap up here, how are things coming together for the Raiders right now?
Good. We graduated a big senior class last year, so there's, out from the outside, I think a lot of question marks, but I think we've gotten a ton of guys have stepped into new roles. Our new leadership has been great early, which kind of showed in that first game. Will Cashin and Ben Geiger has been off to a phenomenal start. And we've got a good core of sophomores and freshmen coming up from the Bantam team that have impressed early and have been more ready for high school hockey. So there's a lot of excitement for us. Goal is to get back to the state tournament and make a run there. As we just keep going week by week and, using this new video tool to kind of visualize things to kind of keep improving our game and hone in on our systems with the process.
Charlie, great stuff. Keep working hard. We appreciate all the work that you do with these kids, and thanks for joining us here on Inside the Bubble.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Charlie Cloud, Northfield Raiders. We have more coming up for you right after this.
What's your water score? Find out with a free water analysis during the Aquarius Mega Sale. And save up to 25% off when you upgrade to Kinetico, the world's most efficient water treatment system. Aquarius Home Services, earning the right to be recommended.
Get an 11% rebate on everything in Menards. Protect your boats and recreational vehicles with FVP RV and Marine Antifreeze. It has burst-proof protection down to negative 50 degrees, keeping you protected against freezing temperatures. Get a gallon for $2.49 after rebate. Attract a variety of songbirds and cardinals to your feeder with Enchanted Gardens Cardinal Mix. It's a blend of nutritious seeds that keeps birds coming back. Get a bag for $15.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At TrueStone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we will give you up to $350 when you switch to a TrueStone checking account. It's true, because we're TrueStone.
Taco John's queso is back, and it's so good you could drink it. Well, you could, but it's better on fried chicken tacos. This cheesy queso boss burrito should quench your thirst for that Hatch chili kick. Creamy 3-cheese queso is good enough to drink, but better on nachos. Our whole menu is just waiting to be dipped or dunked. So even though it's so good you could drink it, forget it. Get me a straw. The ultimate queso takeover is back at Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
And welcome back to Inside the Bubble. We have the top 5 games of the week, girls style, on the MN Hockey TV network. We open up with Breck at Delano Rockford. Breck has been a very good hockey team this year. Delano Rockford has been styling as well. Brainerd Little Falls will be up Bemidji. Warroad and Andover will square off. That is a pair of top teams, Class A versus Class AA. Then you have Edina at the Academy of Holy Angels. That should be a good one. And then Breck again travels to Rosemont. Over on the boys' side, Roseau and Moorhead will square off. Key Mariucci conference battle there and Section 8 AA implications. Shakopee, after that heartbreaker against Holy Family Catholic, will be taking on Eden Prairie in a Key 2 AA matchup there. Stillwater and Rogers, where do these two teams fit? Stilly looks the deal for sure. Maple Grove is at Hermantown, who's playing great hockey. And then Cretin-Durham Hall and the Academy of Holy Angels will square off and play in a game with two teams that are surging in the right trend. Matt Harrington, the top 10 plays of the week. You had some submissions, and you had a lot of work to go through as you crafted this great top 10.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. I got one play that was submitted more than 15 times as well, which you'll see on this list. So let's get right into it, shall we? We're going to go to the number 10 play of the week at the Brooklyn Park Community Center. It is Totino Grace and Hibbing Chisholm. Great puck movement here by the Blue Jackets. That would be part of a 4-1 win for them over Totino Grace. Number 9, it is Delano and Providence Academy on the boys' side. And the goaltender for Providence, Owen Villagomez, squaring up to make a terrific stop here. That's how you do it for you goaltenders at home. Get that glove out there, attack the shooter, and nicely done. And then, Pete, you had this one. This was a terrific save from Bennett Wilmer. Great stop there in the win. And then McKenna Underwood going to make a big stop with the stick, using it as a paddle there for number 7. And then Stillwater, look at this play here. This was from Kaylin Holman and Kelsey Rose. Those two combined for a big goal. That was a win over previously unbeaten Forest Lake in the number 6 play. Then this is Roseau and Elk River. Isaac Bumgardner goes through the legs, top shelf. Unbelievable slap shot there as Roseau gets a big goal. Then this is Michaela Moran. We've talked about her quite a bit on this show, and you're going to see why. She pulls this one to the forehand. An unbelievable goal here. This was part of their comeback effort against the Rosemont Irish. Look at this one more time in slow motion.
Puck protection, Matt Harrington. Incredible.
Exactly, Pete. Well done. And that was our number 4 play. Number 3, you saw this one earlier from Colin Bierman. Look at the patience and the puck control. Goes through the legs. If you haven't noticed, that's already a big theme going through the defender's legs this week.
That's like going through those sticks in practice that they lay on the ice.
And then number 2, this is Kraft Mason, that is, putting on a dangle fest in front of the goal as you watch it one more time. Tucks it home. Beautifully done. Now, this was number 1. This is Lainey Gannett's from actually a couple weeks ago, but it was so good we had to put it in this week to show. She goes through the legs of one defender, then jukes out another defender. Absolutely terrific. There's your top of the week.
That was a heck of a goal by Gannett's and well worth. You had, 15 submissions for that thing, Matt? That's what we want. Yep. You can do that on social, DM us on X especially. That's the best way to get there. The committee was very busy with the Carroll 11 top 11. Take it away, boys.
Yeah, we'll take it away, Pete. And Centennial Spring Lake Park 8-0-0 with another big win over Andover this week. Minnetonka at number 2. Hill Murray and Edina switch places a little bit. Holy Family does go down a little bit after their loss. And then Rosemont, they're back in. Brandon, this is an Irish team you saw. They are playing well. They started 0-2, but since then, man, they've been rolling, haven't they?
Yeah, they sure have. I mean, 6 wins in a row, as you mentioned. One of their 2 losses was to our number 1 team, which definitely was a factor. This is a state tournament team that's maybe snuck in the last couple of years without that gaudy record. I think they're going to have a chance to be near the top of the South Suburban Conference this season and doing some good things. How about Woodbury? Still unbeaten, 7-0-1, about a third of the way through the year. And then Saturday's slate was defining a bit, right? I mean, our previous top 6 teams all faced each other in some way, shape, or form. The 3 teams that came out on top of those games are your top 3 this week.
And indeed, pretty good barometer there.
And they're beating each other, which I think is very impressive. Over onto the Class A now. Again, more of the same there.
Yeah, it is a similar story. Dodge County holds down the number 1 spot again after a good week. They, like Woodbury, 7-0-1 record. Holy Angels gets through another tough week, unbeaten. They tie Orono. They beat Mound West Tonka, Southwest Christian 4-0. So a convincing win there. War Road bumps up a spot as well. Their only loss was to Orono. Mound West Tonka, Southwest Christian, they do have 3 losses. One is to a AA team, and 2 of them are to the top 2 teams in our rankings this week. So that's why they sort of keep that spot there. Proctor Hermantown has compiled a very good 8-3 record. However, their 3 losses were quite lopsided. How about Minnesota River? They have also won 6 in a row since losing their season opener.
Yeah, and that season opener too, Brandon, was to a AA team in Mankato East. This is a team that's allowing under 2 goals per game, and I believe this is the first time Minnesota River has ever been in the KR11 top 11. So congratulations to the Bulldogs. They're playing well. The committee is taking notice, that's for sure.
The committee is harsh as they bury Marshall 10-0 and they go down. How does that happen? Let's look at the Class AA and the boys. I'm glad I'm not a part of that committee. St. Thomas Academy ruling the world right now at number 1.
Yeah, and this, Pete, was a cadets team that continued to win this week, and they're averaging over 10 goals a game right now through 5 games played. So impressive stuff from St. Thomas Academy. But with all the craziness that we had last week, the top 6 actually stays the exact same. Then we have a couple of unbeatens in Stillwater and Rosemont. And then Wayzata does drop a spot, but Holy Angels 4-0, they go up a spot. This number 11 spot, Brandon, came down to Grand Rapids and Benilde St. Margaret's. They both have 1 loss. Grand Rapids does get in. They do have a few more games played, but this was a tough one for the committee to sort out at that number 11 spot.
Indeed. And Grand Rapids, they have played a very strong schedule. They've come up with some incredible results along the way. Holy Angels is yet to lose, looked very good against a very good Woodbury team. And the team that's really intriguing me in all of this is not in the top 11 right now is Shakopee. I am sure they will revisit and get back into that. And as they get ready for Hockey Day, Minnesota, and the sections, they should be definitely a part of that discussion. Moving on over to the Class A now, Hermantown at 2-1-1. The top of the pack again, Matt, with War Road right behind them, 1-2. Very impressive.
Yeah, impressive stuff indeed. And I thought Hermantown played really well on Saturday in their win against Mahtomedi, who is out of the rankings this week for the 2nd straight week. But Cloquet-Esco Carlton continues to play well. They're unbeaten. And really, they're the only team other than Monticello on this list without a blemish so far at a 4-0 record. Hibbing won 3 games this week. And Brandon, we saw Northfield a little bit earlier as well. They tied St. Cloud Cathedral. The Raiders, I think, are really the team that jumps out. They went from 9 to 6. And then you get Minneapolis, who I know you were very high on this past week as well.
Yeah, Brandon's having a little audio malfunction, so I'll step in for Brandon. I think the interesting take here on this whole scenario is, where does Delano fit in this? And is Northfield going to continue their upward trend as well? I think this whole situation is very fluid. Minneapolis looks like a very strong team, not only on the ice, but physically, mentally. They've got it figured out, and they're a very good hockey team. This one is going to be wide open in the Class A. Now, our Hockey Night Minnesota game will feature the Roseau Rams at Moorhead. Girls action. Note the early start time, 4:30. You can find all that on KR11. Roseau, Matt, putting the puck in the net with authority.
They are, and of course they have Jasmine Havda among other key players. That's part of a boys-girls doubleheader, so that's why they play at 4:30 instead of the usual 7.
And moving along to the boys matchup, an interconference rival against Wayzata and Andover. They're going to play Saturday at 2 p.m. I think that's going to be a good barometer for both teams. Wayzata Trojans, we saw their skill and talent really good on the back line. And Andover is such a well-coached team, and they have the players and the goods to get it done.
They do indeed. It's been an impressive start for both of these teams, and we'll see what they can do coming up.
Well, that's going to do it for today's show. We'd like to thank Brandon Spratt. Matt, once again, the program will be dialed in for next week. We'll have more Coach's Corner things, maybe some special features. Submit your top 10s. Getting everything engaged, guys. Thanks for your hard work this week. We look forward to another outstanding week of MN Hockey TV. That's going to do it. So long, everybody.